feeling inspired, excited, exhilarated, and yet also simultaneously emotionally exhausted by the sheer weight of my own vision. So this is me, Chief Rebel, talking to you about where I'm at right now in the world, in my business. So I, as some of you will know, have big plans for my business. Apologies for the noise, that's Percy playing with a toy right underneath me. Thanks, Percy. I have big plans for not just my business actually, but the movement that is Rebel Yell. It is a movement, it's gathering momentum, it's gathering pace, and it has significance in the world that we're in right now. And the plans that I have behind the scenes are huge. That's Percy again. I'm extremely exhilarated and thrilled by this vision. This has come together in a way that I really didn't expect. I've been put in this place that I didn't really expect, and yet it makes so much sense when I think about the journey I've had throughout my life and how rebellion has become a real thing for me, and is the thing that I've always been, in fact, and has just shown itself recently in very clear laser focused ways for me. So big plans, big ambitions, big intentions for the world and the change that I hope to be able to make. Percy's driving me crazy with his tip tapping across the floor. Those of you who don't know, Percy's dog, by the way, it's not like some weird little ghost. So big plans. And some of you may understand that when you have a vision that is massive, that is really heart-led, that is really big and significant, not only is that energizing and does that drive you forward, but it also, because of how big it is and how much of a responsibility that is, it's also instantaneously exhausting the moment you think about what you have to do to make this happen. And that's where I'm at right now. And I was talking about this to a friend last night who also feels the same about their business, their movement, their mission. It's incredibly exciting and something I'm very grateful for, and feel incredibly privileged to have something in my life that is, or to have a purpose for my entire life. That is an unbelievable place to be in at the age of 43. You know, it's taken me a while to get here, but I'm there, and I now just have to make it happen. I'm being asked now to massively step up and deliver this vision. And that's the bit that's exhausting, because there's all of this stuff that in my head, in my consciousness, that I want to do, all of this change that I want to affect. And then I have to bring that down somehow to the 3D world in which we live, and to turn that into a strategy, to turn it into action, to turn it into the pieces of this massive jigsaw. And I can't see what all those individual pieces are. And that's intense. I have had a coaching session this morning with the wonderful Bex McNeil, who's helped me get lots of clarity. And in fact, there are a number of people out there who've helped me get a lot of clarity, particularly in the last couple of weeks, on what some of those pieces are of that jigsaw and what some of the steps are and the actions that I need to take. But it's emotionally exhausting, probably for not just those reasons, but because there is a weight of responsibility that comes with this. There is a burden of what happens if I fail, but also what happens if I succeed at this, because that's huge. That is huge. Sometimes I have to not think about that too much. I have to just stay focused on what it is that I need to do for the world, for myself, for my loved ones, all of those things. And as Beck said to me this morning, sometimes it's not about looking at the big picture. Sometimes it's about just asking yourself the question, how do I stay in the game? How do I stay focused on now? What's the next small aligned action that I need to take to get towards that vision. Now, if you're in a similar space as I am, you know, similar place in your life, then I'm hoping that will land and make sense to you. If you're in a position where you feel trapped and unsure what you're meant to do, and that in itself feels like a huge big deal, then maybe this advice still applies, that it's just about asking yourself the question, how do I stay in the game? What's the next one small thing that I can do to move forward towards the possibility of living out the vision that I've got, or creating the life that I want? And sometimes that has to be intuitive. Sometimes that just is about, I feel like I need to speak to that person and I'm not sure why, but, or maybe it's, I need to put a post out on social media that asks this question of people, you know, to be curious. Maybe it's, I have to walk away and do something that feels fun, that feeds my soul, that allows me to open up my creativity. Sometimes these continual small steps will add up to something huge. It's that whole 1% infinity thing. One small action. So how do I stay in the game? How do I make that next tiny aligned guided step to get closer to this vision without actually getting too overly attached to the vision if it feels overwhelming in that moment? So that's where I'm at right now. I'm hoping this is helpful to, you know, at least one of you out there. It's helping me to get, you know, to not feel overwhelmed, to feel a little bit more freedom in the restrictions that I place on myself, and to just keep moving forward and stay in the game. So if you want to come and knock some of those ideas back into with me, just give me a shout. I'm more than happy to spend some time with you and discuss what your vision might be and how maybe I can help you, or just give you a little bit of a moment of clarity, or whatever works for you. Thank you for watching my musings today. Chief Rebel out. Keep rebelling.